Welcome to the InforMaven AI Update, a podcast for higher education administrators to discuss the practical use of AI and intelligent agents. I'm JD Mosley-Matchett, the founder and CEO of InforMaven, a company that helps you work smarter by harnessing the power of intelligent agents. And this month, our guest is John W. Munsell, the CEO of Bizzuka and the author of the book Ingrain AI. What should higher education borrow from the private sector about AI? John, I know that you've worked with many organizations across a lot of different industries. So what's one thing that higher education should be borrowing from the private sector when it comes to using AI in operations?
A mindset, I think. The private sector is looking at it like we got to move fast because we have competition. And we can't survive if the competition is not just nipping at our heels, but just chewing our legs off. And that's what AI would enable them to do. The competition, if they learn it and accelerate their use of it beyond what you're doing, you're going to get so far behind that it's hard to catch up. So I think the one thing I can tell you from dealing with both is the private sector has a different mindset. The private sector says, let's move fast. And the academic sector is more, they're just used to moving slow, right? I mean, most of the time they're used to using textbooks, and the textbooks, by the time they get in the hands of the students through a publishing process, they're 2 years old. There's nothing useful in the textbook. So the idea that something that you put in a student's hands could be outdated in a week is a crazy idea, but that's how fast this is moving. I'll give you a quick, for instance. I was supposed to teach some students on Friday about the different models that are present in Chat GPT, Grok, Perplexity, all of them, right? And so I had these big slides presented, there's 6 models here and 7 models there and 4 models here and blah, 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 blah. And on Wednesday, Chat GPT came out with 5, and they took away your access to the other models unless you were paying $200 a month, and then you had access to them again. I'm not paying that. But all of a sudden, I had a choice between 2 flavors of ChatGPT 5. And I'm like, whoa, I just spent an hour making this beautiful slide. I got to throw the whole thing away. And I thought I was doing a good job because I was updating it from what I presented 2 months ago. So that's a hard thing to get your head wrapped around in a university setting, but you have to move fast, and you have to know that this thing is going to change. But that's another thing that I noticed, by the way, with the release of ChatGPT 5, and I've been noticing it every time that any model releases an update or a new version. The fear 3 years ago was that, oh, we're not going to need prompting anymore. We're just going to have conversations. A prompt is a request, just like you would ask me to do something for you. That's all a prompt is. Imagine having an employee where you never had to give that employee any instructions. That's not going to happen. You have to have a conversation to make something work. So what I noticed as these models progress is prompting is actually becoming more important. Clarity is more important, and context is more important. And if you never learn those skills, then the things get actually more challenging because they start to take on minds of their own. They try to do things on their own by inferring from words in your requests. And if you don't word them properly, they'll make an inference and go down a rabbit hole, and then you got to figure out how to fix it.
Please visit InforMaven.ai to hear the entire interview.